Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto was the son of Thanatos, part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. The Valley of the End. This valley stands, as a reminder of the once great battle that took place there years ago. Senju Hashirama, clan head to the once great Senju clan, Shotai Hokage, and founder to Konohagakure, and Uchiha Madara, clan head to the once great Uchiha clan, and co-founder to Konohagakure. Their battle created the battlefield that is taking place to two people that are unknowingly following their path. Uzumaki Naruto, the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yuko, and Uchiha Sasuke, one of two of the last living Uchiha, are fighting in the very same valley. They have been rivals for years, but over the last few months that rivalry has been becoming out of hand. Always arguing with one another, always starting fights with one another. Naruto always wants to prove he is somebody, and not like the pariah he was treated like. Sasuke wanted power to kill his older brother, Uchiha Itachi. It all started when they took the Chunin exams. During the second part of the exam, they were attacked by one of the legendary Sannin, Orochimaru, the White Snake. Orochimaru gave Sasuke the cursed seal of heaven to take over his body. When Sasuke saw that Naruto was becoming stronger, he felt weaker, deciding to defect from Konoha to find Orochimaru and become stronger. The Sound Four followed Orochimaru's order to bring Sasuke to him. During their retrieval, they're confronted with multiple battles with each of their deaths, until it was only Sasuke waiting for Naruto at the Valley of the End. Standing across from one another. Sasuke with a darker skin tone, black scaline, long nails giving his hands the look of claws, a marking on the bridge of his nose that stretches across, and goes underneath his eyes, a pair of giant hands that are wings. Sasuke normal black hair is now grey. Sasuke stares at Naruto with his fully mature Sharingan. Sasuke does 3 simple hand seals. Electricity engulfs his left hand. Chidori! Yelled Sasuke. Naruto is engulfed in the Kyuubi's chakra, making the stage 1 chakra cloak with a single tail. His 3 whiskers on each cheek are thicker and darker, his eyes are ruby red and slitted, hair that is wild and speckier than usual, and long nails giving his hands the look of claws. Naruto stretches his right hand out. Chakra spins around in the palm of his hand forming a perfect sphere. The Sengen! Growled Naruto. Sasuke's Chidori darkens the thousands of chirping birds, and the sound becomes muffled. They both stared each other down, cancelling everything out but the noise of the Chidori. Then, both without any warning leaped towards each other. Thrusting both attacks at each out and colliding. Chidori or Sengen, shouting Sasuke and Naruto. Their chakra flares collide with each other. Sasuke thrusts his fist into Naruto's chest, while Naruto swipes his hand across Sasuke's forehead, cracking his headband. The mixture of the 2 chakras spin around, forming a black sphere that expands, causing the waterfall to clash against it violently. The black sphere bursts into a white light, blinding everything in sight. When the light dies down, Sasuke is standing over an unconscious Naruto just staring at him. The clouds above move slowly, blocking out the sunlight. As soon the sunlight is completely covered, a very downpour soon follows. Sasuke grabs his left shoulder, dropping to his knees and coughing up blood. Breathing heavy and pushing his body to his feet. Sasuke leaves Naruto behind. The beautiful woman stands over, staring at him with the love only a mother can have for their child. She kneels down and picks up Naruto. "My little maelstrom," says the woman. Kakashi and Pakin landed on the ground. He single exposed eyes widened who was standing in front of him. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, as the woman in front of him died 13 years ago. He lifts up his headband to use his Sharingan. Kakashi didn't see any Jinjutsu cast over him. "Kakashi, why did you teach that boy the Chidori?" asked the woman. Kakashi takes a step back, not knowing what to say. Kakashi wanted to help Sasuke, and tried to make him leave the path of an avenger, but still failed. "I'm taking Naruto," says the woman. "What?" A still shocked Kakashi yelled. "I'm taking Naruto, and there's not a thing you can do about it," said the woman. Before Kakashi does anything, the woman disappears in flickers of flames. Pakin looks at Kakashi worriedly. He could sense that the woman in front of them was a different level than them, and that Kakashi was conflicted. "What do we know, Kakashi?" asked Pakin. Kakashi just sighs. "We failed, Sasuke got away, and his scent was gone because of the heavy rain, then Naruto was taken by someone who should be dead. Let's head back to Konoha and report what happened. Maybe Hokage-sama can think of something, or maybe Jiraiya-sama can," says Kakashi. Both Kakashi and Pakin leave the Valley of the End. What Kakashi didn't know was that both the elemental countries were in for a change that no one foresaw. Chiron looks out at the camp that is normally filled with campers, but now it only has those that are year-round campers. The summer ended on a sad note. Percy left to go home and be with his mother. Annabeth went to try and spend time with her father, stepmother, and half-siblings. Grover is on his journey to find the lost god, Pan. But what made Chiron really sad was that Luke went turncoat not just on the camp, but also on the gods. There are many things that wish she could have done differently. For one, he wished that he could have done something for Luke from turning against Olympus, tried to see that the gods are very busy, and couldn't make much time for their children like they wanted to. Apollo was the only one of the gods that would visit every now and then to see his children. Chiron was glad that Annabeth is trying to mend the bonds with her family. Then there was Percy. He wanted Percy to stay and become a year-round camper to train him personally. Try and give Percy an edge for not if, but when he fights against Luke. As Chiron made his rounds, he arrived at the dining pavilion. The year-round campers arrived for lunch just as the Dryads walked out of the trees, the Naiads came up from the canoe, and the Satyrs came from the meadows. The old trainer looks at several of the campers, Clarisse Leroux being one of the few of Ares' kids that stay year-round, Charles Beckendorf being the only child of Hephaestus that's year-round, Travis and Connor Stroll being the new consular after Luke became a turncoat, Selena Borgard. And two other of Aphrodite's children, Lee Fletcher from Apollo, Katie Gardner, and Miranda Gardiner from Demeter, two only to name a few. Chiron watches and wonders what the coming years will foretell. With the great prophecy coming to play, he also wonders about the prophecy about the floating island of Delos. Ah, now that brings back memories. The island that Gaia herself blessed and enchanted to always be one with nature. She even went as far to plant the tree of life there. But where there is life, there is also death. Because the tree of life is there, so is the tree of death. Chiron quickly banished those thoughts. The heart that is in the center of the dining pavilion spike became 3 times its normal size. The flames spit out a 13-year-old injured boy. Chiron gallops over to the boy and checks the boy's injuries. The aged centaur examines the wounds. None aren't life-threatening, but the gaping hole in the boy's chest has him worried. Take the boy to the big house, ordered Chiron. Clarisse and Lee run over, pick up the boy, and quickly head to the big house. Chiron let his mind wander, thinking of every possible question and answer to what caused that wound. What caused the boy to fly out of the hearth? Who is this boy? But what made him really think is who is the boy's parent? Chiron takes a glance at the hearth before galloping to the big house. Clarisse and Lee raced towards the big house, as the boy she was carrying was bleeding out all over her. Clarisse questions what kind of fight caused these kinds of injuries. From the looks of it, his clothes are burned, but there aren't any burn wounds on his skin. They quickly got inside and into the infirmary. Clarisse put the boy on one of the beds. Lee now has a better look at the boy, and quickly thinks of a possible younger brother, but quickly banishes those thoughts for now. The son of Apollo has some difficulty cutting the orange jumpsuit the boy is wearing to properly clean the wounds, but still manages to cut through it. What do you need? Questioned Clarisse. I need you to get ambrosia and nectar and a gorgon's eye, says Lee, as he tries to stop the bleeding. Clarisse quickly grabs ambrosia, nectar, and Lee's strange request for a gorgon's eye. She came back and handed all the items to Lee. Lee grabs a nearby spoon, pours the nectar in it, and spoon feeds the boy. The son of Apollo rubs the boy's throat, causing him to swallow the nectar. Lee takes the gorgon's eye. My father, Apollo, takes this gorgon's eye as an offering to heal this boy's wounds, prays Lee. The gorgon's eye burst in sparkles of light that fell onto the boy's wounded chest, healing the wound, but left a scar the size of a fist. Lee sighs at the sight of the scar. Now that Lee has time to actually look at the boy. The blonde hair makes him wonder if he has a new little brother, but then Apollo would have claimed him as soon as he appeared. Apollo is known to claim all his children when they arrived at camp, just like Aphrodite and Demeter. Chiron wheels into the infirmary sitting in his magical wheelchair. He sighs in relief. The aged trainer wheels over to get a better look at the boy. I see everything went fine, said Chiron. Yes, everything went fine, though his clothes were difficult to cut through, but I managed, says Lee. That's good. Chiron looks at the 2 demigods. Why don't you 2 go and get cleaned up and eat something? I'll have Argus to watch over our new guest, says Chiron. Both of them leave the infirmary. Chiron turns his head to the boy. Chiron has so many questions running through his mind again. So many questions and so few answers. The one thing he did realize is this boy is from the island of Delos, which means one of the gods has broken another forbidden law. In order for any of the gods to have children from the island of Delos, they have to file the paperwork. The last one to have a child there was Aphrodite, and that was 37 years ago. Chiron wasn't like this one bit. First, Percy Jackson was the child of Poseidon, which he believed the great prophecy. Now this boy is most likely the one the prophecy said about the island of Delos. Sai, what am I going to do with you, my boy? Questions Chiron. The next day the camp was stirring with a new arrival. Mr. D was called to Mount Olympus. Lee was checking up on the mysterious boy. There was really nothing for Lee to do for the boy. I wished Will was here, he'd know what to do, said Lee. Lee looks over and sees Argus watching over the boy. Last evening the boy's jumpsuit was taken off along with the headband. During it they found an empty pouch and a lead casing that housed several strange knives, and can't forget the funny-shaped toad wallet. One morning came a blue scroll was next to the sleeping boy. When Chiron tried to open it, his hand was burned. How is he? Asked Chiron. Lee nearly jumped out of his skin from Chiron sneaking up on him. Chiron just chuckles at the son of Apollo. Lee puts his chest to calm his heart down. He's fine just sleeping for now. The scar is another thing. Usually when a blessed healing is done there is no scars remaining, says the confused Lee. Chakra, says Chiron, as he stares at the electrical scar. Ha. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it. You heard of the floating island of Delos, correct? Questioned Chiron. Of course, that's the island Leto had my dad, Apollo, and Artemis, answered Lee. Delos has always been special. The people there were able to use something called chakra. Chakra is the combination of spiritual energy and physical energy, which gives them powers that can rival half-bloods and even minor gods, said Chiron. Lee's eyes widened. How is that possible? Asked Lee. Don't know. He is driving Athena crazy because she can't find out how chakra came to be. There are too many theories. But all the gods agree that they should be watched carefully. There is so much war and death on Delos that Thanatos is worshipped heavily over there. Hades hates it because of all the paperwork, said Chiron. Lee chuckles at about the part where Hades hate paperwork. How come there aren't that many half-bloods from Delos then? Asked Lee. Because those that are born half-bloods from Delos are powerful. One of the half-bloods there was a child of Demeter who could grow a whole forest from his chakra allowance. The last half-blood even was able to move through space and time. Haha, that one was Aphrodite's child. Zeus made it so that any gods wanting to have a demigod from Delos had to file the paperwork, answered Chiron. Do you think I have a new little brother? Asked Lee. No. Chiron takes in the sleeping boy's looks, blonde hair, and Chiron opens one of the boy's eyelids, seeing a blue eye. Well, blonde hair and blue eyes are common in Apollo's children. He doesn't have the same aura like you or your siblings have, stated Chiron. Then Lee hesitated. Zeus? Quietly asked Lee. Possible, but no. Zeus's children have an aura like the sky or lightning. Well, I do sense some sky in his aura. It could be because of his chakra. There are too many questions, and we won't know till he wakes up, said Chiron. Just as Chiron finishes, the boy stirs in his sleep. Naruto rubs his eyes as he sits up. As Naruto looks around and notices that he isn't in the hospital, he notices a man sitting in a wheelchair, a boy who looks to be a few years older than him, and some strange guy with multiple eyes on his hands and face. Watashi no Ira, asked Naruto, as he looked around the room for the quickest escape route. Japanese, said Chiron. Nani tieta no? Dono yonai watashi wa nata overkai surukoto wa takimasen-kuru? Asked Naruto. My Japanese is a little rusty, but I'll give it a try. Konnichiwa. Imumo shinpai shinate kudasai. Where wa, mitomo shinkakinadata kagata anata o mitsuketa. Watashi nanamiha karanta, anata no nami wa nanadesu ka. Said Chiron. Watahi nanamiha uzumaki nirdedesu. Koko wa doko. Answered Naruto. Say anata wa kain puhafibirado nai ire. Chodo one bio o mechimasu. Said Chiron. Chiron rolls out of the infirmary. As Naruto waits for Chiron to return, he turns his head to Lee. Of course, Lee doesn't know any Japanese to talk to the boy. But before Naruto could ask anything of Lee, Chiron wheeled back in the infirmary. Chiron tossed a coin to Naruto, who caught it. Say, koi wa kimi o nai kikuruga, so no koi no namakomu shiyu to shidaire. Says Chiron. Nani? Shouted Naruto. Sorcoin wa watashitachi no jengo to hanashi o suru noryoku o tiki o shimasu. Says Chiron, quickly calming Naruto down. Watashi wa oin to chisoku shinai naru ka? Asked Naruto. Chiron chuckles. Anata ga sora o namakomu toki, shona no watashi, anata wa coin to chisoku shimasen. Answered Chiron. Naruto looks at the coin, seeing an L on one side, then flips the coin off, and sees some type of symbol. He questions if it's. The blonde brings the coin to his mouth, and puts it in. Soon as he did, the coin on its own went down his throat. Naruto grabs his throat, trying to stop it, but the coin fades away. What the hell, old man? Yelled Naruto between a combination of coughing and shouting. I can understand him. A shocked Lee says. What I gave you was a special coin. When swallowed, gives you the ability to speak our language. Reading though, Chiron left open. What happened? Why am I here? Where's Sasuke? How come I'm not in Konoha? Questioned Naruto. I'm afraid I don't have any of those answers. But when we came to check up on you this morning, this scroll was here, said Chiron. Naruto looks over next to him and sees a blue scroll lying next to him. The blonde picks up the scroll and tries to open it. Then Naruto remembers about some scrolls that can only be unlocked by chakra, so he flared his chakra into the scroll and opened it. Chiron just sighed when he saw that. How could he forget about seals? Naruto put some more of his chakra into the scroll to get the items out of it. A letter, another scroll, and a blue scarf. What are all these? And where did the first scroll come from? Asks Naruto. Naruto, have you heard of the gods? Questioned Chiron. Kami? What does Kami have to do with anything? Asks Naruto. Naruto, you are in a special camp. The camp which only lets specific people in, says Chiron. Are you crazy? Naruto asked, as he looked around. No, Naruto, you are from the floating island of Delos. But your people call it the elemental countries. Why don't you read the letter before anything else is said? Said Chiron. Naruto gives Chiron a look of disbelief. He started to wonder if he had some of the worst luck by finding weirdos. The blonde picks up the letter and opens it. Dear Naruto, I know this must be strange for you to be waking up in a strange place. Even more so when you are asked if you heard of the gods. Now don't think of Kami, but other gods. I want to let you know that you are right now outside of the elemental countries. I know this is hard to believe, but everything is going to be fine. You are with your family now. You are now with people that won't look down on you, and forgive me for not being there for you. Please try to keep an open mind to what you're being told too. I can't tell you who I am yet, but know this, I love you, my little maelstrom. Love, Kachan. Naruto didn't know what to make of it. First that he wasn't in the elemental countries, second that there are gods, third that he has a family, and finally his mother is alive. He remembers how the villagers would say that he was abandoned because she didn't want a demon child, or that she was some whore. So he'll do what every shinobi, he'll endure. Naruto just sighs. Okay, let's say that I believe you, then what? Asked Naruto. Well, you will be put in cabin 11 until you are claimed by your parents. Chiron leaves it open, which Naruto catches. My mom, Naruto said quietly. He still is having a hard time believing that his mother of all this time is still alive. That narrows it down a bit. We have you new clothes because your jumpsuit was covered in blood and had 2 gaping holes in it. I better go see if Mr. D is back. Lee here will show you around the camp, says Chiron as he wheels out of the infirmary. Naruto turns his head and looks at the remaining people, or should he say person. During his discussion with Chiron, the guy with the multiple eyes left. Hello, my name is Lee, says the introducing Lee. Hi, I'm Naruto, said Naruto. Address, and I'll show you around camp, said Lee. Lee leaves the infirmary, leaving Naruto alone. Now that Naruto is alone, he can now think what the hell is going on. The last thing he remembers is fighting Sasuke at the Valley of the End. They both attack each other to finish the fight. Now he's in a camp where special people come, and there are gods. But none of that matters. Here he reads the letter, and truly doesn't know what to do. He's happy that his mom is alive, and can tell that she loves him, but it raises so many questions. Slapping his cheeks, no use in crying over spilled milk, shouted Naruto before he kicked himself for saying his tick. Naruto jumps out of the bed, glad that he is still wearing his boxers. He looks at the clothes they left for him. Not as tough or durable, but beggars can be choosers. A pair of simple shorts with extra side pockets, a sweet orange t-shirt with Camp Half-Blood on it with a strange winged horse, and a pair of sandals. Naruto does a double look at the letters. He's always had difficulty reading because of his dyslexia. When Tsunade tested Naruto, she was pissed that no one ever did anything for him. Tsunade was close to literally ripping the hospital brick by brick. Both Shizune, Jiraiya, and a whole squad of Anbu had to hold her down. After that, the new Hokage shut herself in the records room for 2 weeks. Let's just say the hospital was never the same again. Soon Tsunade sat down with Naruto and taught him ways around his dyslexia. She was happy that his skills in maths were good, all thanks to Ichiraku Tuchi and his daughter Ichiraku Aim. They even went as far to teach him how to do his taxes when he became a shinobi. Naruto put the new clothes on and saw his headband and necklace on the nightstand next to the bed he was sleeping on, quickly putting his headband and necklace on. But before Naruto left, he looked at the blue scarf that came out of the scroll. He doesn't know what to make of it, is he? Was it his mother's? The blonde hesitantly picks it up and wraps it out his neck. Warmth fills him, as a hug when he does. Wondering if this is what it feels like to be hugged by a parent. Naruto walks out of the infirmary to the waiting Lee. It's about time. For a second there, I thought I was waiting on a child of Aphrodite, said Lee. Aphrodite? Asks the clueless Naruto. I'll explain through the tour. Quickly saying Lee, as he waves for Naruto to follow him. They walk through the camp. Lee shows Naruto the strawberry fields, the farmhouse, the archery range, the canoeing lake, the stables, the javelin range, the amphitheater, and the arena. You probably wonder what this place was made for. Well, the gods sometimes leave Olympus and meet mortals. We are the results of that. We are half human and half god, i.e. demigod, but we call ourselves half-bloods, said Lee. So one of our parents couldn't keep it in their pants? Asked Naruto. Lee laughs at that. Yes, you could say something like that. There are different reasons why they hooked up with our parents, but we can't say for what. Athena goes for those who have great minds, Ares goes for strong women, Apollo goes just about for anything if you catch me drift, just to name a few, said Lee. Naruto shudders at that last part. He knew that relationships back home were kept quiet for several reasons. Some out of fear, others to protect their loved ones from their enemies, and others because it was forbidden. Each of us that comes here learns to fight and protect ourselves till we're older, says Lee. Why? Because the monsters that hunt us don't like it when we're older and are harder to kill. So they target us when we don't have little to no training, answered Lee. Nani? Sounds like the monster's scared, if you ask me, said a confident Naruto. That's if they get here, whispered Lee. Naruto stops when he hears Lee say that. Haku came to the blonde's mind. Even outside the elemental countries that is still a pain. Remember how Haku had to kill his own father because of his Kage Jinkai? Kakashi even went to tell them that Mizuno Kuni went into a blood purge because of fear. Even Archery became infamously known as Shijiri no Sato, forcing the students to kill one another to kill their emotions. Naruto catches up with Lee. Forgetting about that last part altogether. They arrive where the cabins are located. Each cabin is for each Olympian, said Lee, as he shows Naruto each one. So others like us stay in the cabins that are our parents? Asked Naruto. Yes, and no. They don't go to the cabins until they're claimed by said parents. Everyone starts out in cabin 11, the Hermes cabin where you'll be staying. The gods are very busy with their duties, and can't claim all of us unfortunately, said Lee. That sucks, mutters Naruto. The first cabin is Zeus, the second one is his wife Hera, but she doesn't have any half-bloods for children, stated Lee. Then why build it? Questioned Naruto. Out of respect. She is also known as the goddess of marriage, and it isn't her job to cheat, that's Zeus's job, answered Lee. Naruto frowns at that. Back in Konoha, cheating wasn't taken lightly. If a shinobi had been caught cheating, not only are they stupid, but dumb. Shinobi make enemies, and those enemies hold grudges, and are willing to target children of said shinobi. Husband and wife needed to work together, and trust each other to protect not just Konoha, but their family. Then cabin 3, which should be empty, but it isn't. The big three, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, took an oath on the River of Styx, to never have any more half-bloods. Poseidon broke that oath, and now he has a son, says Lee. Lee shows Naruto the cabins for Demeter, Ares, Athena, Apollo, which was Lee's cabin, Artemis, Hephaestus, Aphrodite, Dionysus, and finally Hermes. This is the end of the tour. You'll be staying here till you are claimed. If you want to learn more about the gods, go to cabin 6, and they'll help you out, said Lee. Can I ask you a question? Asked Naruto. Shoot. Well, why does it seem like the camp is empty? Asked Naruto. Because summer ended. Naruto just stares at Lee. What I mean is during the summer it is filled with more campers because they only need a little training to make it outside of here. Those that stay year-round either don't have a home to go back to, or their scent is too strong. If you have any more questions, Travis and Connor will help you out, answered Lee. Lee knocks on the door. They both hear objects hitting the floor, and some yelling. Travis opens the door looking a little panicked. Connor is running around trying to hide things. I don't know what to do. This is Naruto, says Lee. Heart boy, a smiling Travis said. Heart boy, tilting his head as he asks. It is usually common to give nicknames either for our parents or stuff that we did. You are known as Heart boy because you came out of the heart yesterday. Name's Travis Stoll, and introducing Travis says. And I'm Connor Stoll, Connor says, coming to the door. And we're the Stoll brothers. Both said at the same time. Naruto immediately saw the gleam of pranksters in their eyes. Oh, they were going to get along just fine. Travis and Connor let Naruto in after saying goodbye to Lee. Naruto looks around the cabin, noticing that most of the beds are taken. Sorry about the beds. You see the summer, said Connor. Both Connor and I are counselors for cabin 11. There are sleeping bags in the closet over there, says Travis. Naruto walks over to the closet. He hears both Travis and Connor snicking. Naruto opens the door to the closet and his eyes widen. An avalanche of sleeping bags came crashing down onto the blonde. Now he knows why the Stoll brothers were sneaking. Now he knows his first victims. After the avalanche of sleeping bags, everyone in the cabin heads towards the dining pavilion. There Naruto saw 12 tables in the same formation like the cabin, so he quickly put 2 and 2 together, and got fish. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw the dryads come out of the trees, naiads coming out of the canoe, and saw satyrs come from the meadows. Dryads, naiads, and satyrs. Dryads are tree spirits, salads are river spirits, and satyrs are some more natural spirits, says Connor, as he chuckles at Naruto's expression. Naruto looks around, as more and more campers arrive at the dining pavilion. As he watches them, he gets a strange feeling that they were family in a sense. He doesn't know where this feeling came from, but he likes it. Then Naruto nearly has a heart attack when he sees Chiron. Naruto saw some strange stuff when he became a shinobi, but a half-man half-horse he was not expecting. Naruto, my boy. It's good to see you, greeted Chiron. Naruto ignores Chiron, keeping his eyes glued to Chiron's horse body. Chiron notices where Naruto is staring at. Naruto, said Chiron. This snaps Naruto out of his staring. I wasn't staring. Naruto quickly says. I'm used to it. You will be learning about Greek history tomorrow, so you'll get used to it soon enough. I wanted to tell you that I have your patch, leg holster, and kunai. You'll get those back tomorrow when you go to the archery range. And with that, Chiron prances away. Naruto sits with the rest of cabin 11. He looks around again to get a better look at some of the other campers. As he did, he notices that they are looking at him. Hearing them say it's Heart boy. Yup, he was going to hate that nickname. Chiron gains the attendance of the campers. Some of you are wondering about our new guest. Mr. D has yet to return from Mount Olympus to let us know anything that he has learned, Chiron tells them. Where did he come from? Someone questions from Athena's table. He is from the floating island Delos. That is the same island where Leto gave birth to Apollo and Artemis. Now if you have any questions ask him yourselves, but not now. With that, let's eat. To the gods, said Chiron. Everyone else shouts, to the gods. Naruto pouted because there was no ramen. There was barbecue venison, different types of fruits and vegetables. Connor told Naruto to follow them, as they went to burn some of their food. The gods like the smell of burned food. Everyone prays to their cabin, said Connor. When Naruto got to the hearth, he put some in the hearth. Thanks for letting me stay, Hermes. Naruto put some more in the hearth, and thanks mom for letting me know that I have a family, says Naruto. When he put his food in the hearth it grew bigger and burned hotter before it returned to its normal size. Chiron sees this, and begins to try to piece the puzzle together. He's standing to wish that Annabeth was here to think of anything. While it is quiet and peaceful at Camp Half-Blood, the same couldn't be said on top of Mount Olympus. When Naruto made an appearance at the camp, Zeus called all the Olympians to a meeting. Dionysus, what can you tell us of the boy? Orders Zeus. The boy was injured when he arrived, Dionysus says, as he waved his hand to make an image of Naruto to appear when he first appeared at camp. Apollo whistled, damn. Kid got lucky with the hole in his chest. How did he survive? Asks Apollo. Chiron orders 2 of the campers to take him to the infirmary. I believe it was Cammy and Liam, Dionysus says lazily. Athena shakes her head, most likely one of your kids, Apollo. The better question is, who brought him here, and why? Questioned Athena. We'll have to summon Thanatos for better questions, said Poseidon. Zeus summons Thanatos to the meeting. As they are waiting for Thanatos' arrival, Aphrodite stares at Naruto's image. The hair and eyes remind her of one of her children, but for the life of her, she can't remember. Aphrodite's eyes whitened, as she remembered that she had a son on Delos 37 years ago, who became a father just before his death. She searches through her mind trying to remember her grandson's name till it dawns on her. That's Naruto, shouted Aphrodite. You know this half-blood, Aphrodite? Questioned Zeus. Yes, my son Minato was going to become a father just before he died. He named his son Naruto, answered Aphrodite. How did you know that your son was going to be a father? You know the law about Delos, stated Athena. I check in all of my children. Ow, the smile on Minato-chan's face when he learned he was going to be a father. Smiles Aphrodite. Then you know who the mother is, correct? Questioned Athena. Her name was Uzumaki Kushina, but I never felt any divine powers from her, said Aphrodite. Just as the goddess of love finishes, Thanatos appears in the meeting hall. The god of death kneels before Zeus. You summoned me, Lord Zeus, said Thanatos. Yes, Thanatos, can you tell us more about this boy from Delos? Questioned Zeus. Yes, his name is Uzumaki Naruto. Genin of Konohagakure no Sato, or better known as Village Hidden in the Leaves. He is the son of the Yondaime Hokage, Namikaze Minato, and Uzumaki Kushina, the second Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yuko. Naruto is the third Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi, stated Thanatos. A Jinchuriki. Roaring an angry Zeus. Calm down, brother. You know how Jinchuriki are treated. We can only hope Konoha hasn't done anything to the poor boy's mind like the other villages, Poseidon says, trying to calm his brother down. What type of seal does the boy have? Asked Athena. Minato first used the Shiki Fujin to summon me. He then separated the Kyuubi's yin half, then placed it within himself, and used Haki no Fun Shiki on the Kyuubi's yang half, to place it in his son, stated Thanatos. Where is Minato's soul now? Questioned Zeus. In my stomach for 100 years. Those who use the Shiki Fujin won't be allowed to enter the underworld for 100 years, stated Thanatos. Can you take Minato out so he can tell us why he sealed the Kyuubi in his own son? Asked Aphrodite. I can only do it for a short time, so make sure you ask all the questions that you need to, otherwise you'll have to wait for another 87 years. Stated Thanatos. The god of death doesn't wait to be ordered to pull Minato's soul out of his stomach. When Minato appears before the gods he is shocked that he isn't in Thanatos' stomach anymore. What happened? Is my prison time over? Asked Minato. No, we wish to know why you sealed the Kyuubi in your own son, Athena more ordered than asked. Shortly after Kushina gave birth to Naruto, a masked man calling himself Uchiha Madara attacked and killed the midwives and all the Anbu that were there. He then went as far to take Naruto hostage, says Minato. Some of the gods and goddesses didn't like that a baby was taken hostage. Because of Kushina's birth the seal on her was weakened to the point that the Kyuubi could escape. I managed to save Naruto, but Kushina was taken and the Kyuubi was taken out of her. She only lived because she was an Uzumaki. With the Kyuubi loss, I had to do something, but the masked man attacked me again. During the fight I knew that this man would cause a lot of problems in the future. That's when I made a decision to make Naruto into a Jinchuriki. I know it wasn't the best decision to make, but I believe that Naruto can use the Kyuubi to defeat the masked man, finishes Minato. You really believe that? Asks Athena. If I can't believe in my own son, then who could I believe in? I know that I put a heavy burden on Naruto, but I know he'll endure, because that's what makes a shinobi," said Minato. A lot of the gods smile at that. They can see that Minato really cares for his son, and has a lot of faith in him. "Thank you Yanding Hokage. For your help, your punishment has been less than 25 years, said Thanatos. "Can I ask for one last thing before I go back?" The Yandere asks. "What is it?" answers Zeus. "Tell Naruto that I am sorry for the burden that I gave him, and that I love him no matter what he decides to do with his life. I'll be proud no matter what," said Minato. "Very well," said Zeus. And with that Thanatos swallows Minato back into his stomach. Zeus dismisses Thanatos. Well, that answers some questions. But who is Naruto's godly parent? And what will their punishment be? Asked the sun god. The goddess that had the boy will have till the winter solstice to claim him. If not, the boy will be killed, and the Kyuubi shall be sent back to Delos. Dionysus, I want you to watch the boy, and make sure that the seal doesn't break. With that this meeting is over," commanded Zeus. Camp Half-Blood. The sun breaks over the horizon bathing the valley in its light. Everything was peaceful until there was a loud boom. Green smoke comes out of all the cabins. Everyone runs out of their cabins from the smell. The worst ones that we're screaming are those from Aphrodite cabin. Chiron gallops over, and calls them to gather. "What happened here?" asked Chiron. "Someone sent off a stick bomb throughout all our cabins." Chiron looks over to the Stoll brothers, for they are known for making stick bombs, but even Hermes' cabin was hit. This is making Chiron wonder who could have done it. The old centaur looks around at the campers, and notices that the noose camper is missing. Chiron resists groaning, "Great, another prankster, but this one has stealth training." Said prankster is at the dock overlooking the lake. Naruto takes out the other scroll that he got the other day. He flares his chakra through it, and opens it. Naruto looks through the scroll, and notices that there are only a few things in it. The blonde puts some chakra in the first seal in the scroll, pops out 2 leather bands, one slightly bigger than the other. Naruto looks at them, and can't make out what they are supposed to be. He flares some of his chakra into one, but nothing happens. Scratching the side of his head, he slides it up his left arm till it can't go any farther. The leather band stops just before his elbow. Naruto takes the other leather band, and slides it up his left arm too, stopping it at his wrist. Again, flaring his chakra through both of them this time. A small red-maroon shield. It is whiter near his elbow, and becomes nearlier as it gets closer to his wrist. The leather bands are holding the shield in place. A shield. But I don't know how to use a shield, complains the blonde. As he looks at the shield, a black chain comes out of the end of the shield. The chain links look somewhat thick with a pointed end that is sharp enough to pierce through just about anything. Questions the coolest Naruto. The hooves on the wooden dock alerted Naruto. The black chain becomes bright red as it starts to burn through the planks on the dock. Chiron finds Naruto at the docks with a shield attached to a chain that's burning through the dock. "Ah, Mr. Uzumaki, here you are," greeted Chiron. "Oh, good morning Rojin Chiron," greeted Naruto. The chain cools down, becoming black once more. Chiron looks at the shield and chain. Of all his years, the old trainer has never come across such a shield. "What do you have there, Mr. Uzumaki?" asked Chiron. "Huh?" Naruto looks at his shield. "This shield was in this scroll that I got from the other scroll. I don't know how to use it," says Naruto. "I honestly don't have a clue how to use a shield like this. Most weapons that half-bloods use are just common weapons, but with a few unique weapons appearing every now and then. I must say that shield is the most unique I have seen, and I've lived for 3,000 years. You'll be learning to use a shield, but that chain is going to take some time, and most likely you'll be the one to be finding how to use it," said Chiron. The chain retracts back into the shield. Chiron saw this, and was intrigued. Never had he seen everything like this shield before. The centaur wonders if Hephaestus made that shield. There is one thing that's for sure, with Naruto around things are going to be interesting. After breakfast Naruto started his class for Greek history. When he first opened the book, the blonde was expecting for the words to move around and confuse him, but when they didn't, he rubbed his eyes. Someone for Athena cabin said that their brains are hardware for ancient Greek. This of course made Naruto faspam. All these years, and he couldn't even read the characters because his brain wouldn't let him. Good thing that Tsunade taught him a way around it. It still made him mad. As the class went on, he felt like he truly learned something for the first time in his life. Erica tried to help him, but his ADHD didn't make it easy. After Greek history ended, Naruto was taken to the arena. "So this is Heart Boy," says Clarisse. Naruto's eyebrow twitches. "I'm starting to hate that name now." "The name is Uzumaki," Naruto shouted. Naruto. "Yeah, well I don't care. You're new here, so I'll show you who's top dog," stated Clarisse. "Is that so?" Naruto quietly says, as he pumps some chakra into his shield, making it come out. "Oh, you have a shield, but can you use it?" questions Clarisse, as she takes up her shield and spear. Naruto leaps towards Clarisse. The daughter of the war god brings up her shield and bashes Naruto back. The blonde slides back and crouches. The black chain comes out of the shield, whipping his arm. The chain went towards Claris. Claris raises her shield to block it. The chain hits the shield, but goes around the shield and hits Claris's unprotected backside. As she stumbles, Claris loses her balance when Naruto jumps on her. Naruto grabs the chain and thrusts at her. Claris forces Naruto off of her and back to her feet. The daughter of war thrusts her spear at Naruto, sparking electricity at him. Phantom pains flare at his chest. Naruto ducks under the spear thrust and makes his way to her. When the blonde was close enough, he uppercuts Claris, making her airborne. Followed up by a sharp kick to her back, wrapping his chain around her and pulling. Claris hits the ground hard, causing her to lose her breath. She groans till she feels added weight on her chest, and the feel of cold metal touches her throat. Opening her eyes and stares into Naruto's azure blue eyes. Claris's cheeks redden. Yield. Command Naruto. Smirking, you win this round, stated Claris. Naruto gets off of Claris and gives her a hand. Pulling Claris to her feet, Naruto notices that she reminds him of Kunoichi. Taking training seriously and trying to become stronger. Nothing like how Sakura and Ino didn't train that much. Their fight in the Chunin exams showed that. He remembers how Kurenai was disappointed in them for fanning over Sasuke. You said your name is Uzumaki? Asked Claris. Naruto. Rojin Chiron said that my people say our surname first. What's your name? Asks Naruto. I'm Claris. Most people that come to camp aren't good at fighting. Where did you learn to fight like that? Asks Claris. I was trained to be a shinobi. I've been learning to fight since I was 8. I can say one thing for sure, you take your training very seriously, said Naruto. Of course. Proudly stating Claris, I'm the daughter of Ares, the god of war. I'm no daughter of Aphrodite. I take training very seriously, and I don't take shit from anybody. I can respect them for beating me. If you want to spar anytime, just find me. Now let's see how you are with a sword, says Claris. Trying to use his sword was trial by error. None of the swords felt right. They either weighed too much, too light, too long, or too short. Which was strange that Naruto would have a difficult time with them considering all the time he practiced with kunai. Claris stated because he was so used to using knives for so long he can't get used to handling a sword. And with Naruto being Naruto, stated he'll master using swords in no time. After sword practice came shield practice. Claris forced Naruto to use a heavy shield. When Naruto asked why, she said that by using a heavier shield, he wouldn't notice the weight of his personal shield. The daughter of war went to teach Naruto the correct way to hold a shield, use it properly, and even use it as a weapon. You aren't half bad, hearth boy, says Claris. I could say the same thing about you, Riz-chan, said Naruto. But practice coming to an end, lunch came rolling around. Naruto once again pouts that there is no ramen, but at least he is eating right. Kakashi would always try and tell Naruto to eat more than just ramen. After lunch, Naruto came to the archery range. Lee was there with some of his cabinet members, and Chiron was there as well. Good afternoon, Mr. Uzumaki, greeted Chiron. Afternoon, Rojin Chiron, said Naruto. Chiron takes out Naruto's patch and leg holster. Here is your patch and leg holster, says Chiron as he hands them to Naruto. Naruto takes out one of his remaining kunai and throws it at the target. The kunai doesn't hit the bullseye, but gets pretty close. Impressive. Now let's try with a bow and arrow, stated Chiron. Konoha. Tsunade is not having a good day. Kakashi arrived back looking defeated. He reported that a woman looking a lot like Kushina took Naruto. Jiraiya returned wanting to take Naruto on a 2-year training course, but learned that he was kidnapped. He went into his spy network to find him, but with no good news. Worse was a council meeting was called, and she didn't know till one of her Anbu alerted her. What is the meaning of this? Yelling Tsunade, as she breaks open the doors. Hokage-sama, we are having a meeting to label the demon as a Nukenin, says one of the civilian council members. What? Roars Tsunade. How dare you call this meeting, and not to include me? The only one that is going to become a Nukenin is Uchiha Sasuke, yelling the angry Senju. The boy is nowhere to be found, stated Danzo. Because he was kidnapped by someone who looks like his mother, said Tsunade. The Horikemba kunai is hard pressed against his throat by Kakashi. Finish that sentence, I dare you, ordered Kakashi. Kakashi stands down, commanding Tsunade. Kakashi takes the kunai away from the councilman's neck. As of this day, Uchiha Sasuke will be marked as a Nukenin, and Uzumaki Naruto will go down as MIA. If anyone says otherwise, they'll be executed. With that being said, Tsunade storms out of the council chambers. Danzo is already forming a plan to find and brainwash Naruto to become the perfect weapon and to make Tsunade lose her position as Hokage. Tsunade made her way back to her office where Jiraiya was waiting for her. So, did you learn anything? Questioned Tsunade. Nothing, it is like the brat just disappeared. Hell, the toads can't reverse summon him. Something every powerful is blocking the summoning, Jiraiya answered tiredly. Keep searching for him. This woman is going to pay for taking him, yelled Swant. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.